All right.
Okay, today's episode of How to Fix World of Warcraft. We figured we would get into something that by the time this video goes up might actually have been implemented in the game. It's the
Yeah,
auction
they already
house.
announced it. They announced that they were going to be fixing. Well, not fixing. They didn't say they were going to fix the auction house, but that's essentially what they have to do.
Yeah, they don't want to imply that there's anything wrong with the auction house, but it's been obvious for
But there
years.
is. There
Yeah,
is.
it's been obvious for years that it's like not even worth using barely anymore. I have not used the auction house literally in years. I bank shit, and then you have like all these auction house mods that makes the auction house slightly more
Hmm.
tolerable than it is.
I have like two separate auction house mods, including it's like one of them's a mod that kind of makes it easier to look through the stuff you're auctioning. The other one just speeds up the process of putting stuff up on the auction
Yeah,
house
letting you click through a bunch of bullshit of like
because
the cost
that's
and
one of the
the name and the fucking
that's
shit.
one of my big problems with it. Okay, we actually have to look for the door now.
Yeah, I'm trying to look, and supposedly there's a fucking monster coming out of Stalker or some
Uh,
shit.
is it Stalker or is it the
Oh, it
fucking
might be the Juggernaut.
Jugs?
I mean, we can avoid the Juggernaut. I'm not too worried either way.
Nah, it's like being worried about World of Warcraft.
Yes.
I don't care. Yeah, this is the Juggernaut because you can tell because the infected enemies glow
Yeah.
yellow.
Yeah. As far as the auction house, though, I avoided using it. What we had was kind of a nice setup for me. Was I fucking since I work, I don't have all the free time to deal with auction house bullshit. So I would just throw any shit I got into the guild bank. And if it
Here
was
it is. I
old,
found it.
okay. If it was
I
old,
found it.
yeah. If it was old stuff, I would throw it into the old stuff tab, and if it was new stuff, I would throw it into the first tab. And that was the system that we had worked out. Um, as far as you using the auction house, though, you had the mods, you had all the stuff set up.
I made some decent money selling stuff, but in particular, a lot of the stuff I sold, I just sold because I hate the idea of it not getting used. It's
Yeah,
like, oh, this was a decent item. I used some of these. I know somebody will need this,
yeah.
so let me
Sometimes
try and sell it.
like stuff maybe from Molten Core. Like I would do a run of
Shit.
shit. I would do a run of Molten Core, and it's like, oh,
Shit.
here's an Elementium ingot. I'll put that. I'll just throw that
Yeah.
into our guild bank and the old stuff, and you can go auction it. I don't care because maybe we'll get money, and maybe somebody else in the game will actually get some worthwhile, valuable use out of it. I don't know. Whatever. What
I
ifs?
managed to sell most of the stuff that we got
Yeah.
that was put into
And
there. Most
before your subscription expired, you pretty much auctioned off
hey,
most of the
yeah,
shit.
I forgot. We have all four dragon
Yeah,
keys.
that's right. Um,
Dragon keys.
so yeah, that's again, even with the
Yeah, I only have
mods,
57 health.
shit. Even with the mods, though, it's
Here,
like a
just
very strenuous, arduous. Like I don't know, I don't even know what you do to auction stuff, but you like I remember you had all these extra tabs for like two different auctioneer mods that were just like this one will just automatically pick a price, so you don't have to fucking bother with too much
yeah.
bullshit. But this other one,
Shit, depleted reload. I've never had this magazine capacity, but
sniper.
reload speed goes up.
Oh, well,
Oh,
whatever.
we got an Orkin cipher too. I don't know what the fuck that's
I
about.
don't know. That is more interesting than World of Warcraft again. But yeah,
Is it inherently more interesting
so
than
as
World of
far
Warcraft?
as how the auction
And
house
I
works,
also had a mod that sorted or it answered my mail immediately.
yeah, because when you auction stuff, any returned auctions, like let's explain how the auction house works. It's first of all, it sucks ass. It's just a nightmare. It's boring, but it's arduous and it's not very beneficial to the player. Anyways, I'm ready. Um, oh wait, no, I have to re-equip new keys, don't I? Or not?
You shouldn't have to, no, and it looks like it used one of mine,
Okay.
and I still have three left.
You know what? I actually, I just remembered.
Way more important than World of
Yeah, I
Warcraft.
had to. Shit. I took a mod off of this actually. That was wait, it was magazine frostbite. Oh yeah, magazine capacity.
Yeah, I only had like 150 shields and like 90 health or 80 health or some
That's
shit.
kind of fucked, but okay.
I have less health. It's weird. This character has more health than shields normally.
No, it has nothing. But anyways,
I don't know if that dragon key.
we're
I don't know
getting
if
through
you're.
this at least. The how the auction house works is you go to an auctioneer physically in the game. You talk to them, and it opens this giant
And
like
there's only a
com
few people.
panel.
There's only a few of them in a few cities, and they're very uncommon to find. You
There,
have to go to very specific locations, so it's easier to have, say, an alt, a different character that's like a level 1 that just sits in a main city
yeah, and
and
so
fucking checks the mail, goes through
yeah,
your fucking guild
yeah,
bank.
you mail stuff to your bank alt. Having a bank alt is considered a complete normalcy in World of Warcraft, where you have your level 1 who just sits by the mailbox near the auctioneer in a capital city like Orgrimmar. That's why they actually made more sub cities in Orgrimmar. That's like there's the Thunderbluff wing for the Taurens, and then there's the Goblin Town and that kind of shit. And all of them have their own auction houses. And so we tend to park our bank alts near the. I don't even use a bank alt anymore, but a lot of my bank alts or characters I don't plan to use are just in the Thunderbluff wing of Orgrimmar, where there's a nice close by auctioneer and then a nice close by banker and a nice close by mailbox. And now we don't need to really mail stuff to your bank alt because you can just throw it in the guild bank and you
Yeah,
can
I
fucking go
used to
loot it
actually have to
instantly.
do that.
Yeah, but yeah, in the old days, you would have to mail it, and you would have to wait for the mail process to go through because there was like an invisible timer to make it so that
Mhm.
mail wasn't instant. And they eventually changed that so that in guilds, mail is just instant among guild members, which goes to show there is no reason to have a fucking delay or an invisible timer for the mail system in the game. It's just a fake. It's just a fake game mechanic that doesn't mean anything.
Here's one of the rushes for the little statuettes. I'll try and do this.
I guess so.
I'll do this. You keep looking for the door.
Yeah, I guess. Um. Anyways, so when you talk to the auctioneer, it opens a big fat fucking window full of options and buttons of here's the if you want to search for an item to buy off the auction house, but then if you want to sell something, that's a separate tab on the auction window, and it will ask you what price you want to set it to. It will ask you what buyout price you want it. The bids, minimal bids, all
Because
this
they only
shit.
go up. Here's the thing, and I was figuring because you asked me what ideas I have to fix auctions. I was like, let's just compare it to the Guild Wars 2 auction house.
Yeah, that
In
one I
Guild Wars
use
2, you put
constantly.
something up. In Guild Wars 2, you put something on the auction
You
house.
hit O. No, you hit O. You hit O, and it just brings up your inventory tab, and it's like,
Yeah,
what
that's
do you
right.
want to sell? And you just pick it, and it's like, do you want to sell it for this much? Yes, and then fucking go, and it just flies out of your inventory, and then you get the money instantaneously. If somebody had a buy order for it, it's just instant. And the thing is, there's no deposit, there's no fucking 2-day maximum. Where if it doesn't sell in 2 days, it just comes back to you, and you have to
Yeah,
give
that
a
in
deposit.
particular is very annoying, and I'm not saying they have to change it, but it makes
But they
it pretty
should.
annoying to have to put stuff up on the auction house, and it comes back after 2 days. That's actually if you select for it to come back after 2 days. It'll come back sooner if you want that.
Yeah, that's the
Which
only
I
other
never
option
do.
is sooner. But the
I wish I could just keep it up there until somebody buys it.
yeah, forever. Just put leave because the thing is with a game with this many items in it, you get so many items that you have no use for, but other players could find a use for, either for leveling up their trade skills or making some item they want to use, which is extremely unlikely anymore. Most profession skills are fucking worthless. The items you make, the armor crafting, you can't craft any actual good, worthwhile armor. No
It's
one gives a
ridiculous
shit.
how difficult it is to make some of the shit, some of the armor in the fucking game.
Yeah, and then it's just easier
They
to
do
fucking
that
do
so
a
that you
raid.
can't. Yeah, exactly. They make it so that armor is like one of the hardest, most difficult things to craft.
Yeah, you need ridiculous amounts of
For no
materials.
reason.
Usually raid materials from raids where you can just do the raid and get better actual gear instead of any crafting materials. Usually the crafting materials
that's how I've gotten
to the
pretty much
officer.
everything I've ever gotten.
They go to the guild officer
in
first.
The last fucking 10 million years.
All the materials go to the guild officer first, but the gear is the only thing they tended to let you actually roll on. So
and then if it's soulbound, it's just like, well, I guess it's just going to get vendored because nobody needs it.
Yeah, nobody needs it, I guess. And so all the other people in the raid, you never know if somebody else in the raid is like, oh, I can use that, and then they just leave the guild a fucking couple days later or some shit. Okay, we got another vault. And here's the thing, a soma chord, tone chord thing I didn't hear.
I haven't needed it. I think I have all the soma chord, tone chord, tones.
I hope so. Anyways, I don't, but so I looted that at least. Yeah, so the whole auction system is just so much easier in Guild Wars 2 because it's just click and it's either sold to somebody who had a buy order, or you can throw it up there and just leave it up there, and it will just be there up on the auction house, and you could cancel that at some point in the future if you want, but it really doesn't matter either. And somebody else can use it. If you could,
it's a lot more convenient, I would do that. Faster, more simple, more helpful to the player.
And that would be one way to just straight up fix the auction house in World of Warcraft, is just make it so you could do it anywhere. I always liked also in Guild Wars 2 when you go into your inventory and just pick something for auction, it shows a little birdie flying away, like it's flying away with your item to take it to the auction house. And it's sort of like it's also reminiscent of ordering a pizza in Earthbound, where you know, from any phone you can order a pizza, but once you you know, you have to wait for the pizza to arrive. So you go around in the world, and then maybe like 10-20 minutes later in the game, or 5 to 10 minutes later in the game, a guy will everything will stop, and a guy will run up to you and be like, here's your pizza, and it's like a giant full heal, and it's really beneficial, and that's really cool. And that's, you know, in Guild Wars 2, that's reminiscent of that. And I understand how it's more realistic in World of Warcraft, but I don't give a shit about anything being realistic.
It's realistic. Yeah, let's face it, especially in World of Warcraft, there's no need for doing that kind of shit.
Ain't no need for that.
Don't do that to the player, especially now. You fixed all these other things in World of Warcraft.
So many things in World of Warcraft is just insulting to the player. The fact that you have to pay a deposit on putting something on the auction house, so
and you don't get that
money,
deposit
you have
back.
to lose money. Yeah, you have to lose money in the game, and it's like, it really doesn't matter. Just let me, just make it so I can't auction it for as much.
And so that it makes it for some items. Stupid. You can actually sell them for less than the deposit. So that you're just losing money. In which case, why not just destroy it?
Some items. There are several items in the game that have a deposit of like 100 gold that aren't even being purchased for more than 10 gold. So you can put it up there, but then it's just you're just punishing yourself by putting it up there.
And most especially is useless. There really is a lot of stuff to auction in the game, but holy fuck, the auction house doesn't represent that fucking amount of effort you have to put in to do that. Yeah, so it can take almost all of your playtime just answering your mail, getting your auctions back, to put them back up on the auction house again.
Yeah, it would take you like a half hour to an hour when you were going to do auction stuff. You would be like, okay, I got to put this up here. Let me get my... Even with the mods that made things faster.
Even with the mods.
It was punishing and arduous to the player. It's in
and that mod I had in particular, you know what? We can review the fucking mods now. They still don't work enough.
Yeah.
They're still fucked up.
And I don't know anything about them, so I didn't use those mods. I don't know.
Yeah, one of them is like Auction Faster, and the other is like Auctionator or Auctionizer or some bullshit like that. And they fucking, Auction Faster, it makes it so it doesn't remember my fucking prices for items I put up.
Yeah, and that's one thing it desperately needs is if you're going to
So
auction
I'm not
stuff.
really auctioning that much. If I'm auctioning faster with it, it's a bit faster, but it's at the cost of actually selling stuff for what it's worth, and
Yeah.
so that results in basically another waste of time. I can either put in the amount of money again, which is going to slow way fucking down.
And that's detrimental to the other players to make it so difficult to auction stuff that you're like, I'm just better off vendoring this and fucking
Yeah,
getting the money.
exactly.
Here's another race, by the way, right here. I'll tag it.
A race.
Yeah, fucking race
Race.
thingy. Um,
I hate the way race mixes. Oh wait, here's a race. Do you know how to do these yet?
no, I mean,
There's really only like 3 of them, and they're super easy if you just bullet jump.
I don't. There's still another.
I just found one. I just found one
Well, I found one too.
for myself.
Anyways, yeah, the way there's it's not just the auctioning, but there's so many other aspects of World of Warcraft that's detrimental to all players and could be fixed simply, but won't be, and fucking most likely doesn't matter anymore because people not only aren't playing the modern game that much anymore, but I mean I'm sure they're playing more of it.
And again, it could
last
matter. There's nothing wrong with making it matter.
Yeah.
You know, they could
Even
go
if the
and do
game's
that.
dead, even if the game's dead, it's like they could still fix it. And supposedly they're making changes to the auction system in World of Warcraft. I don't know what they are or why.
I will say this: there's apparently people who just do nothing but play the auction house. It's like, this is more fun than the game. You're insane.
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck how fun it is.
we knew a guy who was like that.
Digital, yes, exactly. He made all his money, and it's actually kind of sad. There's a guild that like took him into a raid
Oh yeah,
because
he
he
would pay.
made them a bunch of money.
Yeah, he would pay to just go into raid to be run through raids, but because he had so much money from just obsessively min-maxing the auction house. And you know, that's fine if you want to do that, but you are out of your fucking money. You should go fucking take a job, say in real estate. Do that. You know, that's a better way to spend your time. So, and I think this guy that we knew ended up doing that, and it's like, okay, that's, you know, hey, that's an actual profession in real life. It's not a World of Warcraft profession like alchemy. It's a real life profession. So I think it's more worthwhile. And you know, so I'd encourage that. But I mean, imagine doing that for not real money, for fake money in a fucking video game. It's like you could absolutely be putting all this time towards real life versions of this. You could be a stockbroker or something. Do that at least. Don't fucking play World of Warcraft for the fucking auction house. Because he would do that where
The shitty ass auction house.
what he would do is he would see something on the auction house that's like it's up on the auction house for 7,000 gold, but normally it goes for 9,000 gold. So he would buy it off the auction house, put it back up for 9,000 gold, and be like, I just made 1,000 gold, because of course the deposit will take.
Assuming assuming it would ever sell though.
And you know what the deposit goes towards? Nothing.
Nothing.
Literally nothing. It just gets, it's in-game money that gets swallowed up into nothingness. That's the entire point of the deposit on the auction house in World of Warcraft.
They don't have to do that.
Yeah.
But they do.
And I
think
understand the point is so that you can't just put something on the auction house, take it down, put it back up, take it down, whatever. But there are easier ways to do that without even charging anyone like fake in-game money.
And again, the deposit doesn't get returned. Okay.
Yeah.
It looks like I can't open this because I need your key.
Okay, where are you? I don't even see.
I marked it.
Okay. Am I? Okay, yeah. All right, I'm on my way now.
Am I on my way?
Am I on my way?
But yeah, so the fucking auction house in Guild Wars 2, I'm still cheesed off about the fucking auction house. Motherfuck.
Fucking
The
cheesed
auction
off.
house in fucking
Does it say
in World of Warcraft.
Extinguish
It
dragon
does.
key? Okay. Neat. What is this? Whoa! Collect
On a
artifacts.
handy.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's what that looks like.
Yeah,
Go
I tend to
fucking-
never see it. I tend to never do these, but there's a weekly for this, and Warframe doing the weekly.
Honestly, we could kind of this is more fulfilling.
Yes,
I'm more fulfilled as a
More
human being, as a gamer.
spiritually and even physically. But
It's curing my high cholesterol.
wow, well, that's pretty good.
Doug was actually like, "What, are you really fat in real life?" And it's like, "No, I just eat tremendous amounts of shit."
Awful garbage, fucking garbage.
And it's not like I eat so much that it's horrible, but I think I
got
eat.
another,
I think I eat nothing else. Tainted Mag.
Yeah, I got complete 3 capture missions weekly. I did that too now. Actually, that's good. We just have to do one more of these opening the vault things, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Tainted Mag.
I don't know what the fuck Orkin ciphers are for.
Tainted Mag actually seems like it might be relatively decent. Anyways.
Yeah. These are all at least worth keeping in mind.
So yeah, the auction house. Now, do you know what changes they're supposed to be making in the auction house?
They're supposed to be making it easier to fucking basically solving some of the problems I myself mentioned. Making it easier to solve, making it easier to put stuff on the auction house. I think it's going to work a lot more like the Guild Wars 2 one, where you put stuff up. You can even take partial pieces from somebody's stack. That was another thing. Before this update, somebody will put up a stack of like 370 pieces of some crafting requirement from an obsolete expansion. And you might want the appearance of it, or you might want to make something for an alt, something like that. You had to buy their entire stack.
Oh, yeah.
So it could be like
if they put up
10,000 gold.
Yeah, if they put up 300, you had to buy 300. There was no other option. Because you couldn't buy like only 50 or only 100
or
even
if
only
they
10
bought
or 20.
If they were selling one and you needed 300, but they put up 300 stacks of one each. You now have to go and buy fucking 300 at one at a time.
Over and over and over, clicking each individual one over and over. And there was no option to do it any other way. It was just like, that's how it is on the auction house. You're
just going to have to put up with it because we're World of Warcraft.
You got downed? Hold on a second.
I'm downed and there's the fucking targets right
there.
This
is the last run though, right?
I don't know what happens if the target dies.
Well, I'm gonna eat him. I'm eating his soul right now. Anyways, yeah, again, on the Guild Wars 2. And Guild Wars 2, I think, possibly had some of that, but it was so much easier to just click through. It was just so much.
Yeah, no, you could. I'm pretty sure if you wanted to buy multiple orders of a specific item, you could just put in like the number. You could put in buy orders and you could put in sell orders.
Yeah, having a buy order just solves so much of this problem already.
You could request how much you wanted somebody to sell on the auction house, and you would just be matching their price. Usually when you were selling stuff on the auction house, it would just find their price.
And there were less items overall, too.
Sell it right to them.
There are less total items in the game and less of that item. So it's like if you got a piece of cloth, like in World of Warcraft, you can get cloth in the hundreds and up to the thousands just through playing.
There's a statue.
Yeah. Should I do something with this? Oh, wait. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I need a statue for sure. But yeah, in Guild Wars...
It's going to be hard to get in there, by the way.
Okay, well, in Guild Wars...
You're going to have to duck slide.
Well, I know how to do that.
Duck slide.
Oh, shit. In Guild Wars 2, it's like, if you get one piece of cloth, it's so much more rare, which makes it easier to manage buying, because then you only need, like, 1 or 2 of those items to make a thing. They're not going to require, like, 20 of a cloth to make like a bolt of cloth.
I could have some complaints about the crafting system in Guild Wars 2. It's way too hard to make stuff. Too hard to even level up. I'm trying to level up my crafting system. So that's like, okay, now this character has armor smithing. This character can make gems or some shit. It just takes too many items. The items are a little too rare, or else you'd have to farm too much for them. And at the very least, do that for high-level stuff. I understand that. But if I just want to level up the skill...
Yeah.
It was a little agonizing. I'd rather not have to do that. That would be my one complaint about Guild Wars 2, Guild Wars 2.
And there are other complaints about
the crafting. Yeah, that's not the only complaint anyone could ever have in the universe.
But Guild Wars 2
particular
did have a nice... It had nice features. It had
It was certainly a lot more user friendly.
yeah, but I mean that alone won't save a game. But what I did like about Guild Wars 2 was it was kind of almost a travelogue of itself, where it's like, hey, explore the world, check this out, do some goofy fun things that are like, go pick up these chickens and put them
Yeah,
in
I
the
kind of
farm.
treated it more like how I'd want a big MMO RPG like this to be treated.
I really thought it had a very original and pretty creative and interesting um, quest design system where a quest would be essentially an area. In Guild Wars 2, it's like you go into an area with like a heart. It's sort of an empty heart. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, the heart is the indicator for a quest.
Yeah, and you fill up the heart by doing stuff in the area. And doing stuff in the area can involve some weird random stuff that's very specific to the area. Sometimes it's kill these enemies, but sometimes it's like pick these weeds or feed these pigs or something.
Yeah,
Something fun,
there's some very interesting designs
but very
for
user
some of
friendly
these
too.
quests.
Very simple, like nothing that's like, oh, you got to do this and activate this thing and make it combine with the thing. It's just like, oh, just go here, pick up this bucket and bring it over here to activate the
I remember
pigs
there
or
was
whatever.
one that was like really weird, obtuse, complicated, but it was like in a goofy way. It was like feed these squirrels these sandwiches or something, and then when they go to sleep, you collect them in the box.
Yeah, and again, relatively
You didn't
easy.
have to
Like,
do them though.
yeah,
Again, also unlike WoW, you didn't have to
yes,
do absolutely every single
that
quest in the game to hit max level.
specific area that wants you to feed the squirrels so they fall asleep. You could do something else in that area instead, fucking like kill this of this enemy or pick this of this fucking doodad.
It's usually never kill enemy or collect item though.
Yeah,
It's
it's
usually like it might want you to kill enemies, but it usually wanted you to do it for some reason. It was like, clear the area
yeah,
or
clear
fucking they have
clear
an
this.
item on. Not those are I fucking WoW is so dulling to me
Yeah,
to how to design the stuff. It was
every
usually
quest
way
in
more
WoW.
creative and interesting in Guild Wars 2.
Yeah, every quest in WoW was go to this
Unfortunately,
area
it's been a
and
really
kill all the
long time
enemies.
since I've played Guild Wars 2,
Yeah,
so I really don't remember much.
yeah, it's been years, many years.
Unfortunately,
Yeah, and again, even some of the negative stuff about Guild Wars 2 that made me be kind of like the game ultimately, like all MMOs, was just pure grind. Um, are you keeping track of like where to go, by the way? Because I fucking
not really. I'm just checking areas. I'm trying to find this Orkin cell,
yeah, it's way up in a dead
but I've
end.
also been clearing. I've been clearing a bunch of stuff.
I'm just shooting.
Okay, there I got it.
Okay.
Orkin cells are a little too rare.
But we're still looking for the decayed dragon key or the whatever dragon key door.
Whatever, dragon skelly key,
Yeah.
whatever the fuck.
I have no idea where it's supposed to be, but whatever.
Fuck.
I don't even necessarily remember how to unequip shit from my gear too, but whatever.
You just have to go to the fucking gear and
I
choose
guess.
none.
Whatever. So as far as the Guild Wars 2 auction house though, that's nice and simple and straightforward, just nice and simple and clean. And the
Simple and clean and effective.
the World of Warcraft one is a big mess, and apparently they're going to
It's
be
almost
fixing it.
insulting, especially for a game like that. This has been a
It's
problem
insulting to
for
the player.
15
Yeah,
years.
to the player. There's been lots of stuff in the game that was just a major fuck you to every player that was left to rot there for years and years while the players complained and said we need to be able to do this. As a shaman, I need to be able to recall my totems because enemies are aggroing onto them and I can't do anything about it. It makes it so a major
They only have 5 health.
classification of the entire class is a detriment to playing the class. I might as well never throw down totems, but it's a major strat of the class to have totems, to throw them down. Every single time you play as a shaman, you kind of need to always be throwing down your totems. And if I'm not,
And the game
I'm
is
not really
balanced
doing
around
anything.
you throwing down your totems.
Yes.
So if you're not throwing them down, you are essentially weaker
You're
than other
gimping. Yes, you
players.
are gimping yourself by doing that, and but then you're fucking yourself over by also doing it. So either way, you're completely fucking yourself, and it's just like, oh, well, then don't play that class. Basically, we broke this class. Ha ha! You're playing this class. Don't you know the joke's on you? That's basically what Blizzard did for the first ever. Like, you go and play World of Warcraft Classic, and people are like, "Why is the game like this? Why is this bug
They're
this?"
completely mystified.
Yes, and the developers have to tell them, no, that's not a bug. That is how the game was originally the whole time. It was always like this. It's always going to be like this. This is the game you told us you wanted, after all. And which goes to show nobody wanted World of Warcraft Classic. They thought they did, and they didn't. Nobody wanted World of Warcraft Classic. Literally nobody, because when they played it, they were like, "Oh, it doesn't have this and this," and all these bugs.
And that's the funny thing.
Even in the later
There's
patch.
always people who kept saying that they did back in the day, where it's like, "Oh, WoW Classic was so much better than this," and I would tell them, "No, it wasn't.
It objectively wasn't because
dummy.
it was a fucking fucked up mess, and everyone else forgot except us." And this was even after several patches. So this was fucking. We played WoW Vanilla after patches. WoW Vanilla before patches, the very first WoW Classic, is a fucking disaster. And yeah, they aren't bugs. Those are features.
It's
that
an
bug you're
Amy
complaining about is a
Schumer
feature.
level train wreck."
Yes. That bug you're complaining about is a feature. What's wrong, World of Warcraft Classic fans? I thought you liked... Those are the features you wanted them to bring back. Now you're saying that they're bugs when they're not? What's wrong with you? You thought you wanted this game. WoW fags. So,
Motherfucking WoW Facts.
you
I do not
fucking
see this
fag.
door.
And again...
Did I miss anything?
Oh, here it is. I found it. It's just
Shit.
here. I think we sort of passed by this area, but... Look at this.
Yeah,
Take a
the
look
vault,
at
very
this.
likely.
Extinguish dragon key. Okay, I'm just opening.
Okay, there, done.
Yeah.
Fuck.
No problem. Anyways,
Yeah, this fucking room. This fucking room. Yeah, I went right past this area. Fucking WoW.
Yeah, I was in
Fuck
this.
Blizzard.
Yeah, I was in this room and
Fuck EA.
I almost barely even noticed it. Anyways,
Look what EA almost robbed from us.
do you see those pieces of shit at EA? And that's the thing. People act like, oh, EA is the worst company. It's like, Blizzard really is the worst company. You're just too cucked. You're too paused to be able to admit it or accept it. You think that Blizzard's on your side. Blizzard's one of us. They're part of Gamergate. They support Gamergate deep down inside.
That's
know
the
it.
dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Yes. They're stupid WoW fags.
Stupid people.
Anyways, yeah, but again, it's something that I guess WoW will be fixing, but again, it's something they should have fixed years and years. They should have fixed this 10 years ago, to be honest. But the thing is, they knew they didn't have to compete because we're the biggest fucking company. We don't have to compete. And then everyone's like, well, this game's a piece of shit. And they're like, what? No, what happened? Fucking
Why do they
Pikachu
make that
surprised-
sound?
Pikachu surprised face.
Haha.
Anyways,
Fuck them.
so we're actually running out of ideas for what's wrong with World of Warcraft. We'll have to come up with some more. But this segment actually might be ending soon. We might be fucking about done with.
I got a
the whole-
3-day affinity booster.
Oh, that's pretty good. Anyways,
What the fuck is this? Organ Derelict Emissary Assassinate. There's like a new fucking thing here, and then there's the Lephantis.
I don't want to do that shit. I want to go for a walk.
Panties.
I need a cholesterol pill and to go for a walk. I'm being very healthy and responsible by taking my medication.
It's good.
Anyways,
It's good.
So yeah, I almost fear the day that we run out of ideas for how to fix World of Warcraft, because I know we could keep going on and on. But for now, wrapping this up, make sure to unlike, reach, share, don't comment, resubscribe. World of Warcraft is the Steven universe of video games. And is that it? That's everything for today.
If you want to be fucking verified on Twitter. I did kind of want to ruminate about The days when I would just sell stuff on the auction house.
You know what? Yeah, that's something like you would spend a lot of time going through our guild
I
bank.
made decent money. I
Yeah,
made some decent money.
yeah, and that was
80,
good to make a
80,
lot of
maybe
money.
90% of the stuff I put up on there eventually sold. And there was a few times where I made some pretty good fucking sales.
I
Somebody bought a
remember
bunch of
though.
solid stones for several thousand gold.
Yeah, that was kind of cool
Oop.
and weird though, because solid stones are like a level 20 item, and you were selling them for
Yeah.
thousands and thousands of gold. And again, that's not you. That wasn't your decision. That was what the market was doing, and it was your mod, your auctioneer mod, that was deciding. It's like the market's selling it for this, so I'm putting up for this, and you were
Yeah.
just clicking the button. All you were doing was just
Just
clicking the button
mad
that would
clicking the
automatically.
button.
Yeah, but I remember you would sign in and you would click the fucking mailbox, and you had a mailbox mod that would just open everything and dump it into your inventory, and it
Yeah,
would
that's
just be
another fucked
opening
thing.
and opening and opening
Because
and
I'm putting it
opening.
up in separate stacks for the user so it's easy for them to buy what they wanted. But when it comes back in the fucking mail, it comes back as separate mails, and you can only have 50 displayed at a time. And so
So the
you have
mailbox
to.
would actually stop and be like loading more mail.
They had to mod it into the game themselves an open all mail fucking button because there was a mod for that already that would just open all your mail.
Yeah, and it was so necessary, especially for people who auctioned a lot of stuff, because each
It's the
auction
only
would
way
be
the
a
auction house
separate mail.
works.
Yes, each auction would be a separate mail. As again, in Guild
Each
Wars 2,
stack
there's no
would
mail.
be a separate mail.
There's no mailbox you have to go to. In Guild Wars 2, you just fucking click on it and your thing
The
sells.
money goes right into your inventory just instantly.
Or you talk to a person who gives you all your money at once. It's like in a capital city, you talk to a person and bam, all the money's in your inventory.
It's
You
not
just
even a
click on
capital
them.
city. There's a bunch of towns around that you
Yes.
can do that.
Yes. In Guild Wars 2, again, yeah, you don't open mail after mail after mail to either get your money or your returned item that didn't sell after 3 full days, which
Yeah, in Guild Wars 2
can
that
take
doesn't do
weeks.
it doesn't do that at all.
You've put up stuff for weeks that only finally sold after weeks and weeks of it being on the auction house in World of Warcraft. In Guild Wars, you could
Yes.
just slap it up there and leave it there.
Paying the deposit over and over to the point where it's like this actually might end up losing money if
Yes.
this doesn't sell
Because it
eventually.
just eats the deposit. The funny thing is, in real
It's
life,
not a deposit.
that yeah, it's not a deposit. In real life, you would get the deposit back if the item doesn't sell. In World of Warcraft, it just eats the deposit, and it always has. Again, that's 15 years, and they never change that or fix that. That is why World of Warcraft is the Steven Universe of video games, because the original content itself is shit, but also the fandom itself deserves rape and possibly murder by chainsaw up the ass, possibly a murder via rape. Which you know what? That's pretty cool, I guess.
Inventing new, unique forms of getting raped and murdered.
And murdered. Thanks, World of Warcraft. You deserve it. You,
I hope somebody shoves a club up your
yes.
ass.
Fuck. Anyway, so yeah, World of Warcraft is the Steven Universe of video games, and make sure to unlike, share, don't comment, resubscribe.